What's up, nerds? Programming is cringe. I mean, why do you need to write all these letters and words? This isn't English class. So I thought, let's make programming even worse. And introduce everyone's favorite subject, math. But Daniel, I hate math more than English. Screw you. I never asked for your opinion. Anyway, programming already basically exists in math, and it is known as Boolean algebra. Does this mean that everything became much simpler for me? No. This sucks. Nobody knows what all these symbols mean, but Boolean algebra is simple enough to be implemented into normal algebra with algebraic equations, so let's do that. Perfect! We have all the major logic gates, and for those who do not even know what a logic gate is, it is one of the most fundamental concepts in computer programming and engineering. Basically, two binary numbers go in, and one comes out, according to simple rules. All of the logic gates, there are not very many, are shown here, and their Boolean algebra equivalent, and of course, the regular algebra equivalent we have created. You can even make a half and full adder. Here is one working. It adds two binary numbers. Pause the video if you're curious. So now it is possible to make a calculator with math, the most useless concept ever invented. But then comes the next large hurdle: data storage and manipulation. There is no real way to store data in algebraic equations, but we don't really need to, so how do we bypass it? Well, in a math function such as this, data goes in, function does something, data comes out. And if we wanted the math function to, say, run Doom, then we can just create a list of data out of a single number, containing the screen display information, maybe some input moves, and just run it through the function to get the next frame. But before we do something so complicated, let's do a simple process. For example, getting the first digit of a list. However, to do this, we need to erase numbers. Say we had a number such as, 123,456. What if we wanted to take the third digit? Well, we would have to isolate it by subtracting the 56, then subtracting the 123,000, and finally dividing everything by 100. But how do we know what to subtract? To figure it out, we need to selectively erase data. But every system in algebra does not do this, except multiplying by 0, but that deletes the whole number. But what about floor? If we divided the entire number by 100, so it would be 1,234.56, and then rounded it, we would have successfully deleted the 56. But Daniel, floor is not math. But modulus is. Wait. Yeah, looks like it. And guess what? Modulus can do the same thing as rounding. But Daniel, what is modulus? Shut up, I'm getting there. Modulus is like a clock. I don't know, that's what the Wikipedia article says. Basically, it's the remainder. When you divide a number by another number, this is what you are left with. And as I was saying, here is floor and modulus expressed in terms of each other. Understand it? Me neither. I made it like a year ago and completely forgot what it is. But yeah, with this new knowledge, we can make simple digit grabbing, this equation here. And if we plug in our numbers, then as you can see, it works. That's math. How do we display our information? Remember, it'll just be a long number. Probably the easiest thing to do is to chop up the number into a square. So if we have 1 billion, the screen would look like this. The number 1 is a delimiter. Basically prevents the number from collapsing into just 0, it's a formatting thing. Now, we get to decide what to program, and I think the best thing to do is the game of life. No, not that game of life, the better game of life. But Daniel, what is the game of life? Basically, you have a big cell grid. Cells can be alive or dead. A dead cell becomes alive if it has 3 alive neighbors. Cell can only stay alive if it has 2 to 3 alive neighbors and dies in any other case. With these simple rules, people have literally created computers. So if we can simulate this with math, we can create a computer using math. So, let's do this. No, I can already see this video is taking too long, and I honestly do not want to lose viewer attention. So, you're gonna have to wait until the next video. Ha, nerd.